Hey guys, Mozo Negron Tech here, so I'm back with maybe my final Warrior Titan update. I absolutely love the class. I love melee. I've played Monk. I've been leveling a lot of Monk, Witch, and Mercenary, but I still come back to my Warrior and Titan because it is so goddamn fun. Again, T15 map here, Waystone, Ellie weakness, not too difficult, but I do want to show you with this gear set. This is not my gear I'm using now, but I put this gear on specifically to show you that if you use my skill tree, if you have the absolutely worst gear imaginable, you can still clear the endgame. You can still get up to T15 very, very comfortably, in my opinion. You have decent clear. It has been nerfed, but it is possible. So I might sound like a broken record here, but again, I'm an older guy. I'm married. I work full time. I don't have all the time in the world. And I want to make build guides that are accessible, not just to newer players, but more casual players. And I want to show people that whether it's PoE 1 or PoE 2, the barrier to entry to get to the end game to farm maps is not that difficult. It is very, very possible. I'm not going to show you, oh, you need 600 strength, you need 7k life, you need all this crazy gear with triple T1 affixes, well, T10s, you know, because it's reversed now. But I'm making a build guide focused on that. That is accessible. You can get a lot of power in the skill tree. You can get a lot of power with gem choice. And you don't need really any power with gear. That's kind of the whole point, and that's really why this is labeled as a beginner casual guide that can carry you to endgame and destroy bosses. So real quick, I'll go over the gear. If you look at this weapon, it is terrible. T2, 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 flat, hybrid, and fizz. It does have the attack speed, which is great. I essence the attack speed, and I actually got the regal and the double exalt with whatever. But that is the second lowest fizz roll on a temple maul. And you can see you can still comfortably clear T15s with a weapon like that, right? Everything else is just okay. Life resist, doesn't even have good life there. No attack speed, which sucks. You know, I don't have any accuracy, stuff like that. Just life resist, life resist, life resist. I don't have a single piece of gear that's like, wow, this is very, very good. I have no life on my boots because you pretty much can't use boots. You can't use boots without move speed on a warrior that are at least like 20%, right? And that's it. I have nothing special. My weapon swap, so you know I'm not BSing you. Right here, another awful temple maul, right? Just terrible, right? So that's the point. Again, my build, 0 barrier of entry. You don't need to do, what's going on here? It's ridiculous, right? All right, whatever. So that's the gear. All right, guys, so I'll get into the passive skill tree. And again, this is where 95% of your power comes from. Again, when I say you need no gear to play this build, I legitimately mean you need no gear. All you need is some life, resist, and a decent weapon with even the absolute worst rolls. You saw that it is possible. This is the one I was using, right? So even T2, Fizz, Hybrid, and Flat with a little bit of attack speed, you don't even need the attack speed on a Temple Maul, but it makes it feel much better. You can clear up to T15s and have a good time. You can enjoy melee. You can enjoy the Titan, right? So the normal pathing that I do, I don't like going all this way, even though these are increased with hulking form. I rather just try to get the attack speed as fast and efficiently as possible. We get the skill speed here that does affect it. And then our last attack speed is over here with Revenge. When you are hit, which is just absolutely crazy, you get 26% attack speed. So this pretty much solves all your attack speed woes as a warrior with Aftershock, with Earthshatter. To map even faster, I do use Martial Temple. I do not care that it is not a more damage multiplier. Technically, it is a more DPS multiplier because you're attacking more often, but a lot of people are still locked into the PoE 1 mindset where, oh god, I'm not going to use my main damage skill with faster attacks. It's a completely different game. It requires a completely different mindset. When you get to the late game, the faster you attack, the faster you solve your attack speed woes as a warrior and titan, you're going to live more and you're going to have a much, much better time clearing, right? You don't have to do it this way. Again, I like to clear with Earthshatter. I hate Stampede. I hate getting locked onto a white mob. It's really, really stupid to me. I don't know why you don't get like phasing or pushing mobs back, but if they change that, I'll go Stampede. And again, on a 4-leg camera to gods, you have no problem. But again, that solves your attack speed issues. And going up here, we go Blood Magic. Why do we go Blood Magic? Because a lot of people in the comments, well, how do I get Mana Leech? I can't sustain my mana. I'm so tired of spamming, you know, number 5 or whatever your mana flask is. You get 3 points, you get access to a jewel socket, strength, which is great, and you get Blood Magic. Who cares that you're spending your life? Like, you just completely solve and make gearing that much easier. As soon as you don't need mana leech on gloves, rings, or weapon, all of a sudden your gearing options open up. And that's my point, right? This is a beginner casual focused guide to where like, okay, damn, I didn't hit the Regal, I didn't hit the Exalt. It doesn't matter. You're going to solve those issues with the passive tree. Next up, the other keystone, Resolute Technique. Why Resolute Technique? Well, you solve your accuracy issues. You never have to worry about, damn, oh, I don't have enough accuracy. I didn't get my accuracy on rings. I didn't get the accuracy on the helm, on the gloves. I didn't get enough accuracy on the weapon. Who cares? You solve that issue, again, with the passive skill tree. Let's go into defenses, right? So you get an absolutely metric F ton of armor. Even without Titan's Blood, even without a shield, you will get, with Scavenge Plating, you'll get up to 14 to 15k armor. And again, I don't have any crazy gear. I don't have like super high armor bases. Nothing wild right here, right? Like, it's not like I have like great gear. I don't have any like really percentage armor. I just get some armor from the tree. And in combination with Vengeful Fury, another 51% increased armor with our max rage. Again, we can handle hits. And in PoE 2, again, you're going to get a lot of chip damage. You're going to get hit a lot. And it makes sense to get some nodes when you're hit to smooth out rage generation and increase your overall defenses. You can get more armor over here. You look at this, 30% increased armor. I mean, you got notables. Well, not notables, but, well, yeah, notables that don't even give that much armor. And with Hulking Form, it's just that much better. So it's a very, very good concept. I kind of wish more people with Path up here, especially for more casual and beginner focused guys getting into the end game. It just solves a lot of the issues. So that's our armor, right? Our recovery, if you've been keeping on my guides, I actually have not been going leech as much. Rage by itself, and because our rage generation is so good with Berserk, you look right here, you actually get 0.2. So every 10% or every 5 rage is 1%. Right, so you get almost 10% leech of physical attack damage, which you are fizz. So that kind of really solves our rage issue. Even if you don't have like a lot of rage, like as soon as you get to like 5 rage, you're kind of pretty good with leech. I've tested it a little bit. Getting leech when unreserved, it just didn't feel that good, even though it was pretty much more necessary before the patch and the nerfs to like the late game mapping. But you know, we can get more increased leech, and what that does is that, again, you don't have to worry about getting leech on gear. You look at my gear, I have no fizz leech on my gear. So that's another thing. Like, it would be great if you had it on gear, but again, barrier to entry, you don't need to do these things. The passive skill tree and skill selection will solve a lot of your issues when it comes to speed, survivability, defenses, and damage. Next up, war cries, right? We use war cries. War cries are really good. You know, war cry speed, recover when war cry helps offset like the blood magic thing. And a nice little tech is that even though we're not warbringer, you know, if you do get in troubling situations, like a lot of times with breaches or expeditions, if maybe I like can't get my attack off fast enough, which normally isn't the case because we attack so fast, you could just literally spam seismic cry over and over and over again, get the continuous knockback. The cooldown doesn't trigger because you're not empowering on the heavy stun enemies, and you kind of recovering life that way, creating space and increasing your survivability. So that's a nice tech that you can spam seismic to increase your defenses, recover some life in combination with the leech. So that's very, very nice too. Again, the war cries are good. One thing to note about here is pile on and armor break. You don't need pile on, but I just get a little bit increased armor break because with Earth Shatter, I do use Splinter. I've been doing that for a long time. I really, really love it. It just pretty much maintains that while you're mapping and clearing, you're going to have 100% uptime on Scavenge Plating. Again, using Scavenge Plating, I don't know why a lot of people don't use it. If I had max quality, that's 6% more armor, 60% more armor. With Splinter, a little bit of armor break, increased armor break investment with just Earth Shatter. If I had a better weapon, I probably wouldn't need to go this. But you pretty much maintain 60% more armor. I would probably go to like 16 or 17k armor. Again, without a shield, without needing an absolutely metric F ton of strength. Again, like my whole point, passive skill tree is good. The passive skill tree helps you. Everybody's bitching and crying about Reddit. Oh, the passive skill tree sucks. It doesn't, there's no power. Shut the fuck up. Excuse my language. It is so annoying. You can see that you can clear T15s, terrible gear, with just how I path and the passive skill tree, and I'm not a smart person. This is just normal stuff, guys. Normal, efficient pathing, kind of, I think. And you solve all your issues, right? Last but not least, we're going to talk about rage. Again, with Hulking Form, we get 51 max rage. That is utterly insane. To smooth out your rage gen, I would get generate 1 rage on melee hit. So in between mobs, I have that on my gem. That's why I don't have it here. But in between mobs, you can, and packs and stuff like that, you can smooth out and stay at high rage. Another trick that I like to do is Ancestor Warrior Totem, and I just link Fissure because Volcanic Fissure, that generates the fissures. The fissures will font the rage. You can passively generate rage. That's much more important for bosses and not really tough rares, but really the bosses, the pinnacle bosses, stuff like that. That's where that Ancestral Warrior Totem is going to be more kind of important, right? And that sums up the skill tree. So again, there's a couple, some core concepts is that with the skill selection, before I get into the skill gems, that the passive skill tree, the skill selection, we're going to accomplish everything we need to accomplish as a warrior. We're going to get defenses through armor without having to do Titan's Blood with the two-hander and shield. We're going to get passive leech. We're going to maintain that armor because we're going to be breaking armor a lot. By breaking armor a lot, we're going to passively increase our damage while mapping. So not only do we get the benefits of breaking armor, increasing our damage, but we also increase our defenses just with using the skills. We don't need any crazy gear to get good defenses as a warrior. And with the rage not only gives us a more multiplier, and I'll show you right here how much we get. If this rounds up, you get 79 to 80% more damage with no investment. Do I have any crazy gear? Nope. All you have to do, you don't even need to go this. You don't even need to go, you know, you can lose the +4, no big deal. I only use this really because of inherent range loss. But again, 51% more damage really goes up to 79 to 80% more damage. Where can you get that type of damage from the skill tree? Right? Like, I don't know. It's kind of a no-brainer to me. So that's why we do it. So that's pretty much it. A rage gets a lot of the damage. We get a lot of convenience. And, you know, you just get so much benefits of defenses, the leech, and the more damage. So we go to the skill tree. I'm pretty set on this since the patch with Tremors. I do love Tremors. I know a lot of people don't. I still really, really like it, but it does seem like a little bit bugged. Upheaval, mandatory, brutality, very, very good. I like brutality because I don't use Herald of Ash. Just does kind of negate the benefit of Infernal Cry, but I really don't care. And Splinter. So Splinter, a lot of people, you know, people don't want to use this. They don't want to use this in combination with Scavenge Plating, or they don't want to use Scavenge Plating because they're not passively breaking armor, and they think, oh, well, I have to use the Boneshatter combo to break armor on the heavy stun, and that's harder to maintain. It's really not. I think people are looking at this as like a net neutral, and Splinter and breaking armor is not a net neutral. It will massively increase your damage. So I don't know why a lot more people aren't doing this. Not only, and everybody, you know, loves to have one button playstyle. They love to not have to, you know, press more than one button. Using this on your main skill, whether Earth Shatter or like Stampede or whatever you want to use to clear, guess what? You break armor and you're set. You maintain Scavenge Plating, 60% more armor at all times while mapping. You can't beat that, right? Again, I talked about Martial Temple earlier. I love Martial Temple. Get out of the PoE1 mindset. You only get one support gem unless you're a gemling mercenary. We are not, obviously. So you want to evenly spread out your support gems, and using Martial Temple while mapping it just feels so goddamn good, right? It just feels so goddamn good. Left click, it doesn't really matter. I guess you could put like Bleed Aggravation, some Leech, whatever, right? No big deal. Hammer to Gods, I'm not even using the 4 or the 5 link. Rage Fort, again, we have so much rage, 51 max rage, that with Rage Fort and Seismic Cry, right here in Rage War Cry, we consume 20 rage. We're still at 31. We get 50% of that. So we consume our rage, our combo. At that 51 rage, we go down to 31. We still get the 31%, but that's really actually like 46%. Increase more multiplier plus the 30% from consuming, plus a 35% from consuming the rage. So that's absolutely massive damage. With Hammer to Gods, it's such a slow skill. You can afford to use Heavy Swing. You cannot use Heavy Swing with Earth Shatter. I do not recommend that. And Exploit Weakness, we consume the fully broken armor from Earth Shatter because we break armor very, very effectively and efficiently. So absolutely massive damage. Very, very, very good. You really don't kind of have to wait for the heavy stun because, as you can see, I'm not going a lot of the passive points for like more damage on heavy stun, just because I've noticed it more and more. A lot of bosses while mapping. First, there's not a lot of bosses while mapping. Like very, very, for me, like I don't know, every 3 to 5 maps, something like that. I keep thinking by the time the Hammer to Gods hits them, they're already out of the heavy stun. So just relying on the heavy swing, the exploit weakness, and the rage forward, that's plenty enough to continue to one-shots. Again, Seismic Cry and Infernal Cry, you can like mix and match. I actually would like a 4 link for each of these. And Corrupting Cry, I mean, I'm just using that because whatever, but you can use really whatever the hell you want. This is more important, I think, for Seismic Cry because I'd rather not constantly consume Rage with Infernal Cry while mapping. I just like to get the Rage Gen with Raging Cry and then also Premeditation. So, like, while mapping, we get a little bit more damage. And Infernal Cry, you definitely want the cooldown reduction, 3.31. Very, very good uptime on that. And Social Warrior Totem, I know a lot of people, and in my past videos, I explained that you should probably do Armor Breaker. I just like having the 100% uptime on Scavenge Plating and Breaking Armor with my main skill. It just feels so much better. It frees up Warrior Totem, so now when bossing, you can still maintain Rage. You use your Ancestral Warrior Totem, and you just get Rage passively. If you start losing Rage, because you're not generating Rage, you just get it right back. So that's very, very nice for bosses. I'll do this for bosses, War Cry, and you get your Rage generation very, very fast with Infernal Cry Rage Gen. So that's that. Next up is Leap Slam. Really, Holy Descent is the biggest thing right here. These two I don't really care about. I barely use Leap Slam anyway. I just feel like walking, dodging, and putting myself in a perfect position for Earth Shatters to stay alive keeps me alive more often. So Boneshatter, this is kind of a tricky thing here because a lot of people would rather run 3 auras, and I did this for a lot before the Crushing Blows nerf. But I love Boneshatter. So I'm a kind of a different person where I really don't care what is the most efficient or effective. But I think Boneshatter is utterly amazing. Lately, I actually love to run Boneshatter because the damage multiplier is kind of nuts with Boneshatter and AoE chaining off of not chaining off of itself, but if you get multiple enemies primed to stun, the Boneshatter is just massive clear. A couple things to struggle with is that Breach and Expedition with absolutely insane mob density, Boneshatter pretty much solves all those issues. I'll try to show a clip in the corner as I talk about this, but it kind of just saves you in a lot of like, oh shit, it's faster than the Earthshatter Warcry combo. And I know it doesn't chain off of itself, but what's going to happen with Boneshatter that I love is that as soon as you get one prime for stun, you Boneshatter, the AoE starts going around, and that AoE is normally enough to get somebody at the edge of the screen prime for stun again. So the fastest way to clear with these high density situations that I've seen is that just use Boneshatter. You don't have to use this. Again, I love Boneshatter. It's just such a cool skill. I love the effects. I love the clear. I love the density satisfaction you get when you do clear. And again, I'm not using Devastate and Armor Explosion. I'm just going max damage with more AoE to get better coverage and clear, and the Impact Shockwave. Because again, Devastate, Armor Explosion, those are 2 gems. It's the fire damage that we don't scale that much. It doesn't chain off itself. It's heavily nerfed, so that's why I do it. And we already get the armor break from Scavenge Plating maintaining, and that's pretty much it. Again, Berserk, Cannibalism. This is an awesome support for with combination with Leech, recovering our life while mapping. Breach, again, Breach Expedition, some tough high density. You immediately get your life back and you clear a couple mobs, so that's nice. And Scavenge Plating. We use Persistence, of course, because you want more skill effect duration. That does not affect the spirit uptime, which is great. And you get that buff longer if you get some longer lulls in these big-ass maps. And Vitality, right? So this really does nothing. Again, the point of the build is no gear requirements, but, late in the game, and I'll probably write in the guide, like, pushing towards, like, min max, like, you would probably get rid of Resolute Technique, Blood Magic, get the Mana Leech, probably run Accuracy over here, Precision, I think it's called, and that's that. But that's the skill gems. And that's pretty much the guide. I know there's a lot of guides on Warrior, and this is not the best version. I understand that, but this is the best beginner version to start segueing into the later maps and to really just let the passive tree help you. The passive tree is good in the game. A lot of people bitch and cry. I don't understand. I guess people are so obsessed with like streamers and content creators like breaking the game that, oh my god, if I can't do that, then I can't have fun. I don't know, man. Anyway, Warrior Titan, and overall, I know I'm probably get crucified for this opinion, but I think it's very, very good. I love the Warrior. I love the Titan. I think Melee's actually at a good spot. I really, really, really do. Like, very, very minor issues I have with, like, body block it and just, like, all the attack speed that you need. Like, if they just got rid of the upheaval attack speed negative, like, you're ready to do 40% less. Just let us do that. Get rid of that attack speed break, less attack speed multiplier, and I think I would have zero complaints. I swear to God. That's my only complaint. because I'm an Earth Shatter boy. I love Earth Shatter so much, and that's pretty much it, guys. Again, like, Warrior's very, very good. Do not get intimidated that you need all this strength, that you need Titan's Blood, that you need all this crazy gear. You do not. You can go to T15s, and even before the patch, I was showing you guys doing T14s with like 2.4k life and like just Leech and this kind of build a little bit modified, right? It is possible. Like, don't get it twisted. Don't listen to all the negativity. Enjoy the game yourself, and it is possible to play slow, to stay alive, and have a lot of fun as the Warrior and Titan. If you guys have any questions, I'll keep updating that written guide. It'll be on Mobalytics. I'll have the link in the description. Please, if you care, like, comment, subscribe. If you don't, I really don't care. I just like to talk to you guys and see what you guys are doing, how you're enjoying it. And that's it. Resolute Technique. Have a good one.